Good evening, everyone. I'm very delighted to be here, and I would like to say Happy International Women's Day to all of you and to all freedom-loving and equality-seeking people across the world. Well, just a couple of days ago, we marked the 100 years of the struggle of people for freedom and equality around the world. In certain parts of the world, some rights have been achieved, yet true freedom and unconditional equality eludes the vast number of women in the world. In a world where we are defined and identified on the basis of nationality, ethnicity, and religion, down to the smallest of sects, the category women is increasingly relegated to a second-class status. In countries where political systems are based on religious dictate, women have no rights to live, think, act, or decide for themselves. Their lives are valued at half that of a man. Rigid religious laws show no sign of allowing happiness, prosperity, or the simplest of rights to women. In Islamic countries, women are suffocated, suppressed, and tied to bigoted norms and values. In this environment, women grow up deprived and segregated, thinking that there is only one way to live, that no other choices exist. They are right. Indeed, in these countries, women have no choice but to subjugate themselves to the male members of the family and follow the orders handed to them from God. A God that doesn't exist, in my opinion. What we witness in our countries of origin is a tragedy without an end. A tragedy where from an early age segregation starts. Women are told that their minds are not their own, where their personalities are not shaped by individual will, but molded by the oppressive rules of society. In my so-called country of origin, Iraqi Kurdistan, religious law does not officially hold sway over local law, but Islamic ethics and morality form the norms of everyday life. Islamic law shapes the lives of millions of women from birth to death. We are the actual survivors of Islamic cultural norms and traditions. No, we are not victims. I do not call myself a victim, but strong activists who have survived some of the worst that religious rule has to throw at us. We have the guts and courage to speak out and to be the voice of silenced women of the region. From Basra to Baghdad through to Kurdistan, women are being killed on a daily basis, terrorized in the name of honor, so-called honor, forced into arranged marriages. More and more are choosing to be free, though the price of freedom is very high, often costing life itself. But so many women are making this choice. In my opinion, it's a wrong choice. The struggle is the way forward. Dua Khalil Aswad, the Yazidi girl who was dragged out and publicly stoned to death by male members of her family. She was a victim of religious bigotry, in my opinion. Nafisa, an Afghan woman whose husband recently cut off her nose and ears. Zohra and Azir Kabiriniyat, the two Iranian sisters who have been sentenced to stoning to death, accused of having so-called illicit relations. These women and many more women in Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Islamic infected countries are being stoned to death in public and hanged every day. Tens of such examples occur around the world. In Uganda, Sudan, and elsewhere, women have been and continue to be raped in retaliation during bloody wars. Abject poverty strikes women the hardest. Why all this brutality? More than ever, women are pushed into prostitution and trafficking as a means of survival. Women are being stripped of dignity and pride. Lack of economic equality, a rigid patriarchy, and religious misogyny are pillars of a capitalist system that keeps us divided on the basis of gender and class. This system creates a horrendous situation for women. Cultural relativism stands opposed to the universal rights that were only achieved after decades of campaigning. The postmodern view of the world is a direct attack on the status of rights of women around the world. It divides our movement. We must once again affirm that when we stand for equality of women, we stand for all women, in whatever part of the world, from whatever background they are. Religious bigotry should be countered more vocally wherever it raises its head. The Archbishop of Canterbury made the cases for allowing legal recognition of some aspects of Sharia law, because more than anything, he fears that without such liberalization, bigoted Christian laws and values and opinion would be forced out. We have all these battles to fight alongside the struggle of our class. It is my belief that all this religious fuss and cultural relativism are part and parcel of capitalism in this age. Capitalism cannot survive without keeping people divided on the lines of class and race, religion and gender. It cannot survive without keeping people in ignorance and poverty. Cultural relativism, Sharia law, and Christian values all prolong this situation. Therefore, our struggle cannot be successful without the full and complete engagement of society as a whole. Our rights and freedoms, our class struggle and aspiration are universal. Women's freedom does not mean freedom for some. Our freedom does not accept the idea that religion, culture, border, or nationality excludes the most oppressed. We are all human. We all deserve to live with dignity and pride. Therefore, more and more women from the Middle East, across the countries, they stand up for their rights, they stand up against politicization of religion, and basically they are pioneering a movement, in my opinion, both in the Middle East and worldwide, and therefore they deserve the most support, in my opinion. And once again, thank you very much to be here today to listen to us. Thank you.